That right there shows how terrible we have been this season, how Liverpool need midfielders this season. It is an embarrassment, an absolute capitulation at the Etihad. It is Manchester City 4, Liverpool Football Club 1. The aging era of defenders has to be answered. Virgil van Dijk needs questioning. Every single one of these players needs questioning because not everyone was good enough today. Even though Mo Salah may have scored the goal, why did Jurgen sub him off early on? Like he scored, and that's it. Get off the pitch, and none of the subs did nothing. What did the subs do? Absolutely nothing. Darwin Nunez didn't even touch the ball at the very best. We scored first, and we let them score four. I mean, it is the Etihad, so what can you expect? Great win for City. Fair play to them. They just have a monstrous squad that was ready for the Premier League better than us. We were not prepared, and our midfield it needs refresh. It's time. It's time to refresh that midfield. It's not good enough anymore. Playing James Milner into that midfield already. It's just so embarrassing. It is really embarrassing. Well, that's the ninth loss of this season and the most embarrassing one of this season so far. Even without Erling Haaland, even without Phil Foden, Manchester City still will run through us like an old man, like a little boy. We fall to the ground yet again, and we cannot tolerate that anymore. It's done. It's time for change. It's time for change. All right, starting in goal, Allison. He was also part of an 11 that was terrible today. Two of the goals he should have been able to stop two of the goals, and still he let it go past like it was nothing. That was a training ground session. That was literally a training ground match for City, and they made it look way too easy. Allison today was not good enough. The whole back line was not good enough. Virgil van Dijk needs questioning, in my opinion. We've let him slide through too many times to think that he's not good enough. Kanade needs questioning as well. Trent needs questioning as well. He's not good enough. Like, what is he doing? He leaves Jack Grealish on the left side unmarked, looks at the center where Kevin De Bruyne is, and De Bruyne just plays a simple pass into Grealish. No one's marking him, and what do you expect? He's going to score because no one's marking him. Trent is useless now. He needs questioning, and it's time to realize that he is also part of a defense that is not good enough anymore. Van Dijk is not part of a defense that's good anymore. Kanate is not part of a defense that's good anymore. Robbo has work rate, but is part of a defense that's not good anymore. Jordan Henderson, our Capitan Jordan Henderson did nothing today. I'm sorry. He was nowhere, in my opinion. Javier, give the kid some slack. Like he's only 19 years of age. You want him to? What do you want him to do? Be the next what? Most be the next what? Iago Aspas. What? You want him to be the next prime? I don't know. Like what do you expect from Harvey Elliott? He's not gonna cut that out in a big game like that. But he should be taking that as a lesson. And Harvey Elliott will have time on his side, but you can't just let that kid rely on that kid all the time. It's too much for the kid, and it's an embarrassing thing to do. Why Klopp does not start Darwin Nunez, I have no idea. Why did he bring on both Jota, Salah, and brings on Fabinho? I don't know if he brought on Fabinho or what. Honestly, I don't even know, but like, it was not good enough. Really, absolutely not good enough. Okay, so the whole front three gets subbed off. Harvey Elliott and Andy Robertson get subbed off, but Trent Van Dyke and Kanate still remain on the pitch. What else can you? I have no more questions for Klopp. Like Klopp was at fault today, but I don't think he should be sacked. But if he keeps on going on like this, will FSG sack him? I don't know. Like we don't know. I don't want Jurgen Klopp to leave. I want him to prove to everyone that we're still one of the best teams in the world. We can't just let this slide. And now the next few games, we've got Chelsea at the Stamford Bridge. Do I think we'll win? No, I don't think so. The Chelsea are just looking at this and seeing like, oh, this is gonna be a cakewalk. Chelsea invested more than us. They signed how many midfielders? They signed the Argentinian talent Enzo Fernandez. They've got Mason Mount. They've got Conor Gallagher. N'Golo Kante is coming back from injury. They've got attacking threats. They've got defensive options. What is that? How are we gonna beat them? We drew with them the first time met them this year, this season. How do you think we're gonna beat them? And then again, Arsenal this Sunday. Do we pose a threat to Arsenal? Absolutely not. Questions need to be answered. It's time to fess up. It's time to go full Antonio Conte. Not full Antonio Conte, but just be freaking honest. It's not that hard. Just say it was not good enough from those players, and it was my fault as well, Klopp. It's time to fess up and stop hiding, and just say it. Just say it as it is. I don't care. Just say it as it is. As it is. Sure, it may have been the manager's fault in some extent, but ultimately it was the players that put out that performance, and that was just embarrassing. And it's time for change. Midfield needs to be fully revamped. I'm sorry, John Henderson is not good enough. I He's a squad player in my opinion. Fabinho, under real consideration, if he doesn't get back to his great form, I'm selling him. Trent, I'm selling him. Kanate can stay. He's still young. He's still got a ways to go. Van Dijk, is his age differing him to how good he has been this season and letting all these terrible performances go past? He's supposed to be the leader of that back four. And what does he do? Nothing. He does nothing. It's time to fess up. Is it time to sell Van Dijk? I don't know. But if he keeps on letting this go through like that, he doesn't show any leadership. It's time to consider selling some of these players. But yeah, that was embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. I hope you have a great weekend. Next up, Chelsea on Tuesday at the Stamford Bridge. The best we can get out of that is a draw. And honestly, the best we can get out of the next two games is a draw. That's all I'm saying after what I've seen. I'll see you on the next video.